India-UK FTA, which has kicked into effect today. I caught up with India's Commerce Secretary Rajesh Aggarwal, who's seen many pacts, who's been at the center of all the action as far as India's trade policy is concerned this afternoon. Let's take a look at what he had to say on the kind of synergies that this FTA is going to bring in. And of course, what does this mean for businesses? How were the tricky aspects handled by India, by the United Kingdom? And how did India manage to strike a very, very balanced deal with the India-UK FTA? Let's listen into what the Commerce Secretary had to say.
I think for businesses, many areas which they were exporting to UK, the duties go down. 99% of the tariff lines in UK now do go down to zero for India. So that means all our textiles, all our leather, footwear, apparel, agriculture goods go down to zero duty, and that's a big win for our Indian industry. And Indian industry, which are already present in UK market, should be able to take good advantage of it. And new industry, new startups, new MSMEs should also be able to leverage it. For consumers also, this means good quality products, technology products, products which we are dependent on UK for import. Those products can come out cheaper, and that will be available in the market for them cheaper. Cars has been a good aspiration. I think many Indians on the who meet me about India-UK SICA keep me asking when the cars will start coming in. Absolutely. Because the aspirational India look for a different quality, different types of cars, and that is also something that they will get in equal measure. So I think it is a win-win from both consumer perspective and also from a very business perspective, which opens up big doors and big opportunities for them.
Right. So very rightly said that it is definitely a balanced trade agreement, like you've said in many of your press conferences. Since you spoke about autos, let me ask you, when do the first set of cars arrive on India's shores? And second part to my question with respect to autos is the fact that you have brought in a tapered form of quota system, and EVs only start after year 5. What's been the rationale and thinking behind that?
One, auto sector is one which we have not opened up much in the past. This time it has been a calibrated opening up. It has been a quota-based opening up, wherein if you look at the opening up is more, the quotas are more in the high-end car, the costliest car, which are not the segments where we produce more. So those are the areas we have brought down duties and enabled cars from UK to come in. The EVs is a developing industry in India. It's expanding fast, but we thought it needed some time to settle down before being opened up to some foreign competition. So the quotas in EV trickle after 5 years, but all these quotas go on and taper down to the 14th to 15th year. And we are looking at a good duty out of quota, and we feel with this some element of competition on the fringes, our industry will also come of age, and it will be good for our consumers.
Absolutely. Sir, you have also mentioned in, your past briefings about, how this got wrapped up in 30 days. And of course, on the morning of 17th June is when these negotiations completed. But let me also ask you about steel quotas that the UK had brought in. How was the conversation on that front? Because that was a concern on India's side. On CBAM as well, what are the assurances that you've been given by the UK side on those front? And how did rebalancing in this pact happen?
Thank you. I think you are aware this agreement was finalized last April and it was signed in July 2025. Right. After that, we have been working towards operationalizing the same. The steel safeguards came in between. So the idea was whether to reopen the trade agreement or try to find solutions outside the agreement. I think both sides showed a lot of maturity and trust, and we have been able to find solution outside the agreement by way of increasing. The UK side has increased quota for India, accommodating some of the demands of our industry and ensuring that our exports in those lines where quotas have come are not only able to maintain that export level, but we are able to grow also in those areas to some extent. And at the same time, I think they also brought in certain concessions on the double convention contribution, so that that takes care of our limitations under the steel safeguard. So I think it has been a very even-handed discussions between the two sides, and I think we have been able to arrive at the ministerial level a good outcome under this discussions.
Right. So since you mentioned about the double contribution convention, which is being touted as one of India's biggest wins, given the fact that the 3 years is now extended to 5 years, of course, very liberalized agreement in terms of services as well. 134 subsectors, if I'm correct. 137 sectors, are under the services agreement. So what sort of boost in exports do you wish to see as far as the services sector is concerned? And double contribution convention, any particular sectors that are slated to win, poised to win, besides, of course, IT?
I think double contribution convention will help all our professional services, because professionals normally go for temporary work. They go for 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, and they were subjected to 20 to 23% of social security contributions, which was like a sunk cost for them. They would not get any commensurate benefit out of it. But now under this DCC agreement, they will be able to contribute the similar amount in their social security account in India and be exempted from doing so in UK. That will be a big win for all our professionals. That will make them competitive, and that will ensure that professional services, UK is a big market. It imports more than $100 billion of professional services. So it will be a big opportunity for our professionals in UK.
Absolutely, and that remains to be seen how that really plays out, this complementarity that you talk about. But sir, is this going to be a template for other FTAs that are currently in the works that will be negotiated in future? Because you have said that this is one of the most ambitious agreements that we've entered into.
See, every agreement stands on its own strengths. So this definitely, there will be learnings from this agreement also, which will have some shadow on other agreements. But every agreement has to find its own balance. It will depend on the strengths of each other partner countries and the unique strengths that both countries are able to bring to the table. So